doctors, nurses, emergency medical technicians. What do all these healthcare professionals have in common? Well, many know CPR, or cardiopulmonary resuscitation. A very important skill to know, and still, there are people out there who don't even know how to do this. Have you ever worried about an emergency arising with a family member and how you would get help? By taking a CPR class, you may feel more at ease in worrisome situations because you would know the steps. I myself have been CPR certified. I learned how to do this through my class at technical school and believe it was worthwhile. Many of you can go about your day not realizing the true dangers in the world. An accident can occur in a mere second, and if someone needed resuscitation, would you be qualified enough to do this? What I would like to make clear today is that everyone should know CPR. It can be a crucial thing to be aware of in the time of need. I'll discuss a few reasons why a person should know CPR, including 1, the peace of mind one can have that comes with the knowledge of the skill. 2, if someone were to go into the healthcare field, he or she is already trained. And 3, knowing this could one day save someone's life. To start off, let's understand how a person can feel at ease knowing cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Knowing how to perform CPR can make you and your family feel reassured. In Buck Tilton's article in Backpacker, he described the situation of a woman falling into a river and her acquaintance trying to revive her. The accident victim's companion seemed to know exactly what to do, including carefully dragging her to shore as to prevent injury and checking the very important ABCs of CPR. This includes airway, breathing, and circulation. Stories like this can hit close to home because accidents happen and not everyone is fully prepared. Of course, there are people out there who feel invulnerable and think that this type of scenario would never happen. But in reality, 4 out of 5 sudden cardiac arrests that hit outside the hospital happen at home. To have a disaster occur at the place many would consider safe can seem nearly unimaginable. It is always better to be safe than sorry and become fully trained. Another good reason to know CPR is because it can also benefit you in your career choice. It's a great thing to be able to perform CPR, but did you know that some fields require it? OSHA, or the Occupational Health and Safety Administration, actually demands individuals go their training in the case of an emergency. You wouldn't really want to go to a hospital without any of the healthcare staff not knowing how to resuscitate someone, would you? Not only is it important in hospitals, but also elsewhere. This includes lifeguarding, babysitting, and the list goes on. Just think of dropping your child off at your babysitter's house and something happening to him or her. If the babysitter isn't CPR trained, tragedy can ensue. If the caretaker were to call an ambulance, minutes, even seconds are crucial to the life of the child before the ambulance arrives. You need to be aware of your surroundings in certain jobs. If you were to take a trip to the local pool and you saw a person drowning in the water, what do you think should happen? This is a job for the lifeguard. If a lifeguard is not properly trained for this kind of incident, lives can be lost. This particular lifeguard would basically be a bystander like you if he or she didn't know CPR. According to Ron Shaw in an article in Parks and Recreation, a 3-year study in New York City examined 662 cases of individuals who received CPR from a bystander. The survival rate for these victims was found to be 4.6%. This means of the 662 cases cited here where drowning victims' lives relied on untrained bystanders, only around 30 survived. Not only do some jobs require CPR training, but now there are high schools that do as well. In fact, a review showed that over half of the United States called for some form of CPR training for the students. In one particular news article, Dr. Laurel Brown stated that, by requiring high school students to receive training before graduation, we are creating a group of potential lifesavers each year. Now we can move on to my final point, and that is that you can save a life. If you were to become officially licensed to perform CPR, you could be a hero. To bring someone back to life seems like something out of a fictional story to some, but it's happened. Many people can fall unconscious and stop breathing without any EMTs nearby. But if you're that one person around to know CPR, you could help. Many people out there have probably seen CPR performed on television, but they don't always get it quite right. And here's an example of the American comedy show The Office trying to perform CPR.
All right, well, let's get back to it, because you're losing them.
Here,
Okay,
he's
too
doing
fast.
it too fast.
Everyone, we need to pump at a pace of 100 beats per minute.
Oh, okay. That's hard to keep track. How many is that per hour?
How's that going to help you?
I will divide and then count to it.
Right.
Okay, well, a
Obviously,
good
he
trick
is
is to
not
pump to
trained
the
to
tune
play
of Staying
CPR.
Alive by the Bee Gees. Do you know that song?
Yes, I do. I love that song. First I was afraid, I was petrified.
And he's doing the wrong song.
Staying alive,
Okay, yes,
staying
I know.
alive.
You were in the parking lot earlier. That's how I know you.
Now
Staying
he's doing
alive,
it correct.
Staying alive.
But things quickly go wrong yet again. Anyway, to get back to my point. Here are the basic steps of an emergency if CPR were to be trained. First, assess the situation. If he or she is not breathing, have someone alert the medics immediately. Second, tilt the victim's head back and lift his or her chin. This can prevent the victim's tongue from blocking the airway. Third, pinch the nostrils shut and put your mouth over the victim's, releasing 2 full breaths. Lastly, if there is still no pulse, place your hand on the lower part of the chest. Begin 15 total chest compressions. Alternate between the breathing and the chest compressions until help arrives. To summarize, it could be life-changing and also life-saving to be CPR certified. Now you know that 1, it is great to be trained, but also to feel at ease that you know how to perform such a skill. 2, it is required of some jobs to know CPR. And 3, you could one day save a life. I hope that I have encouraged you to sign up for a CPR class. Not only could you find it interesting, but it may just be beneficial for the future.